All right, so welcome to another day on Vlogzamus. So today I'm going to be working on a Christmas present for one of the people in my family. So this person enjoys some fun games, usually when they're at other people's expenses. So that means this is going to be targeted at them. So yeah, I've got a whole bunch of bolts, a whole bunch of nuts, and I got some time. So I'm going to make a sandwich of their present. So that's about it. Makes it real simple. All right, so I know the present's roughly 6 inches by 9 inches. So this piece of scrap is almost 2 foot, so it's 23 and 3/4. So I'm gonna go just shy um, of 12 inches. All right, cool. Got this in half. I need to get the saw out, cut it in half, and lay out and get some holes drilled. A lot of holes drilled. Let's cut this in half. And yes, the cord is running behind my leg. I'm trying to keep it out of the way. All right. All right, so this is roughly what I have as far as my layout. Barely visible, but we have the box that this thing comes in. And now I'm just going to put a whole bunch of holes around the perimeter. I figure go, I don't know, ½ inch on the outside of the line. Go every, all right, seeing a whole bunch of nuts and bolts and washers, you might be getting the idea of what's going on. So we're gonna have a whole bunch of these going along the outside of the box. And yeah, let's get the layout done, and then start getting some holes drilled. And then after that, that's when the fun will start to happen. Good enough. Should do one corners and then two. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can do. That's 6 inches, I think. That's good enough. Just gonna do one at the corners and then two in between. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can do. That's 6 inches, I think. Four more, four. Man, this is gonna be a pain in the ass to do. That's 6 inches, I think. Four more, four. Oof, a lot. Not really a lot. 7 by 14. Okay, so here's our rough layout. It's 32, I believe. Could go a lot more, but I think sort of that. So not only will be, I think it's 38, so I have over 20 hex, and then same for the nut. But what I recommend I use Phillips head fasteners for screws, and I have some fasteners as well. So not sure if I'm going to do that or not, but I think it's fun to give a person a wrench, a screwdriver, and a bit just by itself. So just a bit like this. Okay, so it's smart. Before you get squaring up loosely, it's not going to be perfect. I know it's not, but at the end of the day, obviously you get a little bit happier. Cool. Good enough. Good enough. All right. Now I'm going to hold some knots. And I'm going to do it. So good. All right. So all of our locations marked. I'm going to pull all the water back off. All right. So I'm going through both these sections at the same time. But to help with that, I'm just going to but I'm close to the edge. So I'm going to go in. And a little more. All right. Oof. It's a lot. That is a lot. Okay, so here's our rough layout of what's going to happen. It's 32, I believe. Could go a lot more, but I've got something in store for that. So not only will it be, I think it's 3/8 for the head of a quarter 20 hex, and then same for the nut. But what type of friend would I be if I didn't also use Phillips head fasteners or screws? And I just happen to have some Torx fasteners as well. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go that route or not, but I think it'd be fun to give the person a wrench, a screwdriver, and a bit just by itself. So just a bit like this. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these locations marked. Before I do that, I'm just going to try to square everything up loosely. It's not going to be perfect. I know it's not, but at the end of the day, my OCD will get a little bit happier. Cool. Good enough. Oh, didn't get the bottom. All right. Now it's time to make a whole bunch of dots. So all of our locations marked. I'm going to pull all the water back off. All right, so I'm going through both these sections at the same time. But to help with that, I'm just going to but I'm close to the edge. So I'm going to go in. And a little more. All right, quarter inch of it. I got 5/16. Well, all right, so we've got all of our locations marked. And I can go ahead and pull all these washers back off. All right, so I'm gonna be drilling through both of these sections at the same time. So to help with that, I'm just gonna clamp them. But I'm close to the edge. So I'm gonna go in. And a little more. All right, quarter inch of it. I got 5/16. Well, all right, go to the other. Get between quarter 5/16. Let me that down. I just set down. It doesn't do this. Perfect. All right, I just got a piece of scrap 2x6 in here just as a placeholder. And I've got 6 of the 32 fasteners in here. So it can get fun. It can get real fun. So yeah, like kind of where we're at on this. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark one of these just to make sure it stays the same orientation when I put it back together. And I'm gonna go ahead and sand off the pencil marks, try to get everything fairly smooth with just some like 120 grit. And then be ready to go to paint. And by go to paint, I mean hopefully the black or white is still good. All right, so fortunately I do have some acrylic latex from a project in New Orleans. So it looks like it's still liquid. It's gonna be liquid enough for this project. Not gonna be the best, but again, this is a silly project with silly goals of stuff, so I think it'll be fine. Anyways, let's go ahead and get it painted. All right, so there we are. Painted the fronts or backs. I don't know which side they are. Anyway, they're painted, and then we'll go ahead and let them dry, tack up, get them to a point where I can flip them over, and then do the backs, let that dry, and then bolt it all together. And that's gonna be the fun part. So let's let it get it dry, and we'll come back in a bit. All right, so it's next morning, everything's dry. Again, same sweatshirt, same pants, same hat, just because not dirty yet. Guys know what I'm talking about. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and assemble this little unit, and I'm gonna see how long it actually takes to do this by hand or to unassemble it, take it apart by hand. If it's gonna take 45 minutes, then I definitely don't need to use Loctite. But we'll see how it goes. We'll go ahead and throw it on the time lapse, get it kind of assembled, and then we'll go from there. All right, so I had a fear this was going to happen, but it ended up did happening. I thought that this being a little bit of a latex paint, it would be still thinner, it would absorb into the wood, not just drying on top of the wood. But I think the acrylic part of this has made it to a point where, yep, I need to re-drill these holes even after so I tried to get some paint inside each of these holes to get rid of the raw wood color on the inside. But apparently there's too much there, and now I can't fit it. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill these back out, and then we'll jump back into the time lapse. All right, so I got 16 of these in, just the first layer. I am going to end up going to double layers on pretty much all of these. if not triple. Anyways, just want to see roughly how long it takes to get these loose enough to be able to take them off by hand. And that's going to be half of one layer. So that's going to be 1/6 of the time that I think it's necessary. Being that I only have half of these in, and especially not over here, I'm not sure if it's going to help or hurt, but the board will end up starting to lift in one section where it's looser, and that might make other areas tighter. So we'll figure it out. Not sure if I'm going to do. We'll figure it out, but to prevent each one getting restuck, the spin not way that way. Otherwise, it starts losing each area. Let's do. Now these will take longer with all the gaps in. But I'm trying to get how long does it take? How long does it to continue this? Since it's up. All right, I'm at 3 minutes 20 seconds. 3:25 to get half off. So call it 3.5. So that makes it 7 minutes for one layer. 7 minutes for one layer. If I do 3 layers, it's 20 minutes. I think that's entirely fair. 20 minutes to do. All right, so the last, call it hurdle that I'm adding is I'm going to alternate each of these bolts for no other reason. I think actually make it a little bit quicker, but basically you'll do one every other, or some order of mismatched, where you just have to keep flipping it over to go back and forth, back and forth. I think it'll give a little bit more space to get a wrench in, but not the end of the world. All right, so I did decide that I'm gonna put Loctite on a few of these. I'm an a-hole. All right, just gonna give it a little dab. All right, so here we are with the final assembly. So we've got a present barely visible in there. And we've got 32 bolts. And yeah, 100 total nuts. And I think 4 of them have a little bit of Loctite on them. Anyways, I wanted to post this video on the 19th, but I think the person that I'm giving this to every once in a while will actually look at the videos, so I can't, because then I lose the surprise. Oh well. That being said, let's end it off here, and thanks for watching another video.